Picture this. You wake up tomorrow. You walk to your car, you turn the key. Nothing. You call the mechanic. They tow it. They call you back 2 hours later and say, it's your alternator. $1,800 to fix it. Where does that $1,800 come from? Does it come from your savings account? Your checking account? A credit card? Your mom? A prayer? If you hesitated, even for a second, this video is for you. Not in a judgmental way. In a, let's actually fix this today way. Because not having an emergency fund doesn't mean you're bad with money. It means nobody ever sat you down and walked you through this. That's what we're doing right now. I've worked in accounting for 20 years in New York. I make these workshops so financial stuff that should have been common knowledge actually gets explained. Let's get into it. First, and this matters more than you think, let's talk about what actually counts as an emergency. Because I need to be real with you. Not everything is an emergency. Your emergency fund is not a fun fund. It's not a deals fund. It is a very specific, very serious thing. Actual emergencies. You lose your job. You need rent money while you find another one. Medical bill. Unexpected. Urgent. Your car breaks down and you need it to get to work. Not want to drive. Need to. Major home emergency. Burst pipe. Heater dies in January. Stuff that makes the place unlivable. Not emergencies. Lululemon sale. No cap. That's not it. Concert tickets. Even if it's Taylor Swift. Even then. New phone because yours is slow. Your phone is fine. Your friend's bachelorette trip. Listen, I love you, but this is not what this account is for. Impulse buy that you're calling treating yourself. The question to ask is, if I don't spend this money in the next 48 hours, does my life or income get worse? If the answer is no, that is not an emergency. I know it sounds harsh, but blurring this line is how people drain their emergency fund on stuff that felt urgent in the moment and then have nothing when the real thing hits. Okay, the actual rule everyone throws around, 3 to 6 months of expenses. But what does that actually mean for you? Because 3 to 6 months is kind of vague, right? Here's how to think about it. If you have a stable W-2 job, a regular paycheck, pretty predictable income, 3 months is a solid starting target. If you lose your job, it takes the average person 1 to 3 months to land another one. 3 months covers you. If you're freelance, 1099, a gig worker, or a single income household, 6 months, your income is less predictable. A dry spell, a client who ghosts you, a slow season, these can hit harder and last longer. If you're somewhere in between, honestly, 4 months is fine. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to get started. And here's the thing. Nobody says. A partially funded emergency fund is infinitely better than zero. $2,000 in the account doesn't cover everything, but it covers the alternator. It keeps you from going into debt over a single bad week. Progress matters. Let's get specific. Because 3 months of expenses doesn't mean anything until you know what your monthly expenses actually are. Pull up your phone, open your Notes app. We're doing this right now. List your essential monthly expenses. And by essential, I mean, if you don't pay this, your life actually falls apart. Let's say your numbers look like this. Rent, $1,800. Utilities, $250. Groceries, $400. Transportation, car payment, insurance, gas, $300. Debt minimums, student loans, credit card minimums, $200. Add that up. $2,950 a month in true essentials. Multiply by 3 months. Your emergency fund target is $8,850. That's your number. Not some generic 3 to 6 months floating in the air. A concrete, specific dollar amount that means if everything went sideways tomorrow, you have a runway. Notice what's not on that list. Netflix, Spotify, DoorDash, new clothes, going out. Those are things you'd cut immediately if you lost your income. Your emergency fund covers the floor, not the ceiling. Now, does $8,850 sound like a lot? It might. That's okay. You don't need to have it tomorrow. We'll talk about how to build it in a minute, but you need the number first. Okay, where do you actually keep this money? This is the question nobody asks until they have the money and then wonder why it's sitting there doing nothing. Let me rule out the wrong answers first. Not your checking account. Too easy to spend. It's just sitting there next to your regular money. It has no psychological separation. You'll see it. Think, I have money, and spend it. I've watched it happen too many times. The checking account is where your emergency fund goes to die, not the stock market or an investment account. I know this sounds counterintuitive. Stocks grow, right? But here's the problem. The stock market drops hardest during recessions. And recessions are exactly when you're most likely to need your emergency fund, because jobs get cut, work dries up. You'd be forced to sell investments at the worst possible time. In 2020, markets dropped 34% in a month. If your emergency fund was in stocks and you lost your job in March 2020, you had to sell at the bottom. That's not a fund, that's a trap. Yes, a high-yield savings account, a HISA, this is the answer. Here's why. 1. It earns 4 to 5% interest right now. Your regular checking account is earning like 0.01%. A HISA is making your emergency fund actually grow while it sits there. On $8,850, that's $350 to $450 per year in interest. Free money, just for having it in the right place. 2. It's FDIC insured up to $250,000. Your money is safe. The government backs it. 3. It's psychologically separate. It's a different account, probably at a different bank, which creates just enough friction that you won't accidentally spend it. You have to actually transfer it, which means you'll pause and think, wait, is this an emergency? Good HISAs to look at. Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, SoFi, Discover. They're all online banks with no minimums and no monthly fees. Open one tonight, takes 10 minutes. This one move, moving your emergency fund from a checking account to a HISA, is free and takes 10 minutes and makes your money smarter. Do it. All right. You know your number. You know where to put it. Now, how do you actually build it? Here's the game plan. 4 steps. Step 1. Open the account today. Don't wait until you have money to put in it. Open it now. Having a dedicated account ready is half the battle. Go to Ally or Marcus right now. Open a high-yield savings account. You can fund it with $1 if you want. It just needs to exist. Step 2. Set your first milestone at $1,000. $8,850 sounds big, but $1,000? That's real. That's doable. That covers a lot of common emergencies right there. Medical copay, minor car repair, busted laptop before finals. Start there. Step 3. Automate a weekly or bi-weekly transfer. Even if it's $25 a week, that's $1,300 a year. Set it up to transfer automatically on payday. You will not notice it after the first week because it's gone before you see it. Automation is the cheat code here. The goal is to make saving the default behavior, not something you do with whatever's left at the end of the month. There's never anything left at the end of the month. That's how it works. Step 4. Every windfall goes straight there until it's funded. Tax refund. HISA, birthday money? HISA, sold something on Depop? HISA, overtime? HISA, until you hit your full target. Every unexpected dollar has a job, and that job is building your cushion. Once it's funded, you protect it like it's the most boring account you own. Because it is. And that's exactly the point. Okay, here's your 3-step action plan. Right now. Tonight. Step 1. Calculate your number. Monthly essential expenses times 3 or 6. Write it down. Name it. That's your goal. Step 2. Open a high-yield savings account. Ally, Marcus, SoFi, and label it Emergency Fund. Literally name it that in the app. Takes 10 minutes. Step 3. Set one automatic transfer, even $25 a week. Even $50 a month. Start something. Automate it so you can't forget it. That's it. 3 things. Not complicated, just do them. The $1,800 alternator will happen. Medical stuff happens. Jobs get cut. The question is, when it hits, do you have a plan or do you scramble? This is the plan. If this was helpful, subscribe. I drop financial workshops every week that are actually useful. And if you want to know exactly where to put your money once your emergency fund is sorted, the next video breaks that down by income level. Link right here. Drop a comment. Tell me where you are right now. 0, halfway there, fully funded? I read every one. See you in the next one.